Well, whoop-dee-doo. You're not late, you're just in time. Yep, it's time for the Mummy and the Monkey's Hairy Scary Countdown. I'm your host, Cliff Jablonski, to get you through these 15 minutes before the official show starts. Yeah, so let's start with this little ditty, one of my favorites. Ha, ha, ha.
This is the sad story of Eleanor Jones. Eleanor is spending a few days at the hospital. She really didn't intend to come to the hospital, but just a few days ago, something happened. Eleanor decided to clean the top of the kitchen cupboards. There was a stepladder in the basement, but Eleanor just didn't want to take the trouble. Careful, Eleanor, careful. So Eleanor has a chance for some extra reading. What are you reading, Eleanor?
It's none of your business.
Yes, Eleanor has learned her lesson. But how about you? Do you know how to play safe in the kitchen?
No.
One of the first things to remember is to arrange your kitchen as conveniently and as efficiently as possible. In this way, you avoid those extra steps which cause fatigue and thus reduce the possibility of an accident.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Store the things you use near the place you intend to use them.
Duh.
And by all means, store poisons, extra matches, and other dangerous items far above the reach of children.
Oh, good Lord, you scared me.
Keep those cupboard doors closed. A bump on the head probably won't send you to the hospital, but it will be painful just the same.
Damn right.
Small accidents will happen occasionally, but don't let them become major ones. Wipe up that grease spot immediately before you have a chance to forget about it.
Stop rushing me!
A knife is a dangerous weapon if not treated with the proper respect.
Uh-oh.
Strangely enough, a sharp knife is less dangerous than a dull one. Since less force is required to use a sharp knife, it is less likely to slip. Whenever possible, use the knife so that the direction of force is away from the body. Then if the knife should slip, it'll do no great damage. And keep those fingers out.
Excuse me?
If possible, store knives in a knife rack. It is safer and more convenient, and also protects the edge from contact with other utensils. This is the wrong way to wash knives. They should be washed separately and one at a time.
Oh, really?
If you lose a knife in the dishwater, you're likely to find it the hard way. Sure to treat even small injuries immediately to avoid danger of infection.
Well, thank you, sir. What a great deal that was.
Don't mention it.
And while we're on the subject of knives, they just weren't tough edges to cut fingers. Many excellent foods are preserved in glass containers. Should break, throw the food away. No matter how safe it may be, the danger of broken glass fragments is great to be disregarded. No kitchen is complete without a range, but there are right and wrong ways to use one. With a pilot light, lighting the barrel, but make sure that the gas actually does ignite. If it doesn't have a pilot light, light your match before turning on the gas. Before lighting it. This way you allow any accumulated gas to escape and prevent a possible explosion. After this time has elapsed, light and insert the match. Then turn on the gas. A handle projecting over the edge of the stove can easily cause this.
What's wrong with you?
Keep the handles on your pots and pans tight and in good condition. A loose handle can cause many a spill.
That's the fact, Jack.
A screwdriver kept in the kitchen will be handy for keeping things in good repair.
You are really enjoying this, aren't you?
A good way to keep a handle in good condition is to keep it away from the lighted burners.
Pork chops and applesauce. That's swell.
Use a dry pot holder that is large enough to protect your hand, yet not large enough to extend into the flame. A wet holder conducts heat very readily. When removing the lid from a pan likely to contain steam, tip the lid in such a way as to direct the steam away from your body.
All right.
Foods fried in deep fat are delicious, but certain precautions should be observed in their preparation. The mistakes usually made are filling the pan too full and is at a temperature 200 degrees hotter than boil. Any water clinging to the food boils vigorously. This is likely to carry the fat over the side, where it may ignite. Pour the fat into a large container. Large enough so that the fat is at least 3 inches from the top. Keep the food as dry as possible. Remember, it's the water that causes the bubbling.
You understand me?
And just in case, keep a reliable fire extinguisher in the kitchen at all times.
Gotcha.
What's wrong here? All the burners are turned off. Ah, but don't forget, this stove has a pilot light. Don't leave papers or pot holders near it, or this will happen to you.
What a dumb thing to do.
When plugging in or removing any electrical appliance, be sure your hands are dry.
Why?
Wet skin conducts electricity much more readily than dry skin. Therefore, the danger of shock is much greater when your hands are wet.
Oh, is that a fact?
Here is a dangerous situation. Keep those electric cords where no one can trip over them.
Sometimes I'm a forgetful bear.
If you use any of the many kinds of special equipment designed for the kitchen, be sure to read the manufacturer's recommendations for safe operation and follow them closely. It is not sufficient to follow the advice of some friend who ought to know. Consult your instruction book and get the correct information. When it becomes necessary to climb, do it a safe way. The few dollars you pay for a ladder are well spent in terms of convenience and safety.
No, that's the first time I heard that.
Remember Eleanor Jones?
No.
Eleanor will be released from the hospital in a few days. And when she gets out, she is determined to stay out. Eleanor had to go to the hospital to learn her lesson. But you don't have to. Remember, it pays to play safe in the kitchen.
I'm Janet Decay, the Mummy.
And I'm Grim Gordy, the Monkey.
And together we host The Mummy and the Monkey's Hairy, Scary Hangout.
Yes, our live streaming horror hosted show has it all.
Skits, bits, and a scary flick.
That's right, so for more information on our show, go check out
themummyandthemonkey.com. And we'll see you at the Hangout.
Woohoo! Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Sometimes I think that you wish it would, though. Well, we got a little bit more to go here on the countdown, so let's just get to it. What do you say? Yeah!
Hey, Groovy Ghoulies! Janet Decay here, hanging out at the Akron Comic-Con show. And a friend of ours, Dirk Manning, has a new comic book series, and we have a lovely cosplayer,
extraordinaire here.
Hey, I'm Hope.
And she's dressed as the character Hope. No,
Yep.
Is that your real name, Hope?
No, my real name is Riley Rivera, but a lot of people call me Hope now, so it's pretty cool.
Awesome. And so this is a comic book series Dirk Manning, our good friend, made. And this is the premiere of it here at Comic-Con, or?
Actually, it's been around. He's been doing the 9 to 5 tour. I think next week's the last week. But yeah, it's a second premiere of our variant cover for the Toys Time Forgot. And it's my dad's store in Canal Fulton. But yeah, it's about a mom that moonlights as a superhero, and a lot of stuff happens, and she's got to, be the superhero that the world needs.
A superhero mom. I think there's a lot of moms out there that have superpowers, because that's a tough job.
Just the word mom in general is super.
So very cool. Let's show that cover. And you said it's at the Toys That Time Forgot?
Yep, the Toys Time Forgot in Canal Fulton. My dad owns it, and the comic comes out once a month, and this is the last month for issue number 6.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Hope.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Comic-Con, and thank you to all the moms out there. You should read this book.
The TV's most exciting fall season ever. This week, get the biggest and most colorful day-by-day guide to all the new shows, plus a preview of the big stars you'll be seeing. As Lisa Marie Presley talks for the first time about her life and relationship with her famous mom. Go backstage to meet Marie Osmond's new love. Find out about Rock's Dynasty Live.
And give yourself a 60-minute facelift at home.
Jenkins, will you be a dear and find my gym shoes?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell Peter I'll be at Scandinavian. Oh, and another thing, Jenkins, please fetch my gym bag.
Perhaps, madam, I could exercise for you as well.
No, Jenkins. There are some things one must do for oneself.
50% off annual dues at Scandinavian, where America comes for fitness.
Unfortunately, darling, even I have to pay my dues.
If you're looking for a better career, come to Cuyahoga Community College and get the edge.
To be a physician assistant, high-quality instruction is vital. Tri-C gives me the edge to meet the exacting standards in this high-demand field.
Convenient hours, accredited courses. Tri-C has what you need to get the edge.
Tri-C's early childhood education program gives me the edge to get a satisfying career.
Call 861-8578 now for your free career guide. Find out how Cuyahoga Community College can give you the edge.
Who's really got the best produce in town? The hand-chosen, peak of freshness, crispiest, crunchiest, nutritiously delicious, mouth-watering produce brought straight to your table from wherever the sun shines brightest. Better produce is one reason your family-owned Stop and Shop store is Cleveland's favorite food store. Come and see.
What you are about to see is bizarre, unsettling, and riveting.
Sparkling soft drinks.
Ain't nothing like a good Mountain Dew. Hey! Hey!
Steaming hot coffee.
Roses are red, and how do you do? Drink 4 of these and woo-woo-woo-woo.
Steamed or grilled hot dogs.
Oh, my God. That is huge.
Crispy hot fresh French fries.
This is the best thing I have ever put in my mouth.
How about a pizza? None better anywhere.
Hey, gang, it's been real. They say that all good things come to an end, but things are just getting started around here. That's right. There's no time like showtime, baby. So let's get this party started.
Hey!
Hey, Groovy Ghoulies!
What's buzzin', cousins? Welcome back, one and all, to
The Mummy and the Monkeys Hairy Scary Hangout!
Yeah, episode 227, baby.
227, wow!
And feel like heaven. I don't know, it rhymed, I don't know.
Whatever rhymes. Hey, we have some super chats. Right off the bat, we want to thank Michael McBride and Pastor of Muppets. And he said he was chatting from London, so he must be on vacation traveling.
Across the pond in Whitechapel.
Yeah, very cool.
Is he sending the super chat in dollars or pounds?
Or whatever they use.
Yeah, I think they use pounds, but they're back on their own. Remember the Brexit thing and everything?
Yeah, they were on zero for a while.
That breakfast thing that they had a big breakfast one morning, and they decided not to be a part of the EU anymore.
Is that what it was called?
Breakfast. Yeah, that's what they had, a big breakfast over there.
Oh,
they decided to become their own, their own thing again.
There you go. Anyways, guys, so we have a fun movie tonight. It's a murder mystery whodunit from the 1940s. It's The Phantom of 42nd Street.
Yeah. Yeah, not to be confused with our friend 42nd Street Pete, but I guess it has something to do with that area back in the day, you know.
That was a different era of 42nd Street, the Grindhouse era.
Yes.
And we could talk more about that a little bit later.
Sure, yeah. But tonight's show is definitely going to be a doozy because we have a jam-packed one for you again. That's right.
We do, and we also have another prize giveaway.
Well, that's part of the jam-packing.
Yes. So this is from ToxicTunes.com. We want to thank Eric Pegors. And this is a joke book, The World's Worst Monster Jokes.
Oh, my!
And there's like a button and some other little goodies in there.
Sweet!
So it's really cool. So to be eligible, to have a chance at winning a monster joke book, all you have to do is be active in our YouTube chat if you are watching us live on YouTube. If you're watching us on television later on,
no prize for you.
It's null and void. It's already been done.
It's already been claimed. That's right. Already been won.
But I will write down all your names in the chat and put them in my big plastic shiny mummy bucket. Do-do-do-do.
Ouch.
And we will write the names down and put them in the bucket.
Yes, and then towards the end of the show, Janet will proceed to stand up, shake her bucket, and pull one of your names out of her bucket. It's going to be magical.
It will be. We will pick one lucky winner, and that lucky winner has to email us to claim their prize.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's going to be another fun show, another couple of hours of raucous entertainment. You ain't going to believe, let me tell you.
We have fan mail.
Yep.
We have skits.
We have skits, bits, and a whodunit flick.
And a whodunit flick. We like to pepper in the murder mysteries from time to time.
That's right. And tonight's movie has all the grim, gory accoutrements, has all kinds of drop-ins and sound effects. It's a little talky, this movie, so it was hard to squeeze stuff in, but I would have to say the first half is definitely some of the best stuff I think I've ever done. So
if you fall asleep through the other half of the movie,
it's okay.
It's okay. You're not missing much.
Yeah.
Is John Saxon in this movie?
Of course he is.
Awesome.
Of course Mr. Saxon is in tonight's movie. Makes an appearance. There's a Saxon search, of course.
Awesome.
So, we have that. And we have a new TV show, Time Travel, later on. It's another beefy one. It's from 1973.
Wow.
When we had like 4 different horror hosts and movie hosts going on in Cleveland at the same time. So, lots going on.
Like 50 years ago.
Yeah, 50 years ago. Yeah, we had like up to 4 movie/horror hosts in the house. So, yeah.
All kinds of traveling back in time tonight. All right, and we have our shout outs. So we want to Grandpappy had a birthday recently.
That's right.
I think a few days after our last live show.
So happy belated birthday, Grandpappy.
Happy belated birthday, Grandpappy. And then a shout out to neighbor Brian.
Oh, hey, neighbor Brian.
Hey, neighbor Brian. He's going through some things, and we hope things get better for him.
He's on the mend, and he's going to be back to his old self soon. So
yeah, all right. And then, where did Putrid Petunia go? And Fartworth. They're both missing.
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? It's snowing out, but I bet they're out playing in the snow.
That's right. It's a snow day here. Well, not a snow day, but it started. We finally got a little bit of snow here. I mean, we've been waiting forever for some more snow, but that's right. That's where they must be. So, in lieu of them, I have my Barba Papa.
There you go. All right.
You want Burger King? Who do you want?
I don't know.
Here,
who's over there? The Burger King?
Burger King's over here. Oh, yeah, a retro Burger King.
Retro Burger King.
Yeah, his crown's a little droopy, but
there we go.
All right. I heard you're getting 1 inch tonight.
Oh, yeah? Oh, 1 inch of snow.
That's right.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
Would you like more?
More snow? I don't know if I want to shovel all that.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
1 inch is plenty.
That's plenty of snow.
That's right.
Okay, so we have a lot of people that watch with their mini monsters. We aren't necessarily a kids show. Parental discretion is advised, but we try to keep it for most ages.
Huh?
What?
I don't know what that meant.
That's,
I hit the wrong button.
He's playing with the sound effects over there.
There we go, the clap.
Okay, so let's do the mini monster shout out.
Ready?
And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Mini monsters,
mini monsters, roar, roar, roar.
Mini monsters, here they are. Mini monster shout outs too. We've got Kingsley and Kenton and Parker and Nyla. Hi, minis.
Yes.
And Lucas and Christian and Ramona and Layla. Hey, minis. Baby Joe and Lucy and Dimitri. Hey. And then we've got Adam and Peanut. And we've got Scoob. What sound effect is that?
Little ding.
And then there's Charlotte and Mac and Taylor. Hey,
Hello, hey.
And Gabriel and Adeline and Eva and Mackenzie. Hey there. And then we've got Isabella and Carly and Cassandra.
Yay.
And Violet and Lil Kong and Atticus. We can't forget Atticus. And then there's Penny and Hannah and Daria. Wow. And Sienna and Adrian and Julia. And Morgan and Willow and Xander. And then there's Emily and Noelle. Hey, minis. And Trayvon and Araya.
Oh, hey, kiddos.
And did I say Xander?
I don't know. Say it again.
And Xander, just in case I missed Xander. I can't forget them either. So, okay. Awesome. So, let's get the Magic Macabre mirror.
All right, good, Violet Popper. Your work's done for now until we get,
Let's get all this.
We'll call you, all right.
It got, like, some new spark plugs, so it should work
Where's
now.
my Nana? Here we go.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Magic Macabre mirror. Magic Macabre mirror. Tell me who be here.
Hypno Banana.
I see Campbell Soup, Jennifer Delaney, Ken Harrington, James Muscarella, Bruce,
Whoa.
Sears James. Oh, there's a ghost in the room moving
Crap
things
falling.
around. Gary Smith, the Watson family,
Hi-oh.
the Bone Jangler, Ed Burge, Ron Brunty, John Johnson,
Hi-oh.
Sacred of Watermelon, John Diggins, Rebel Ghoul, Daryl, Phyllis, Van Ciatras, Drogger.
Hey.
Wow, 178 of you guys.
roll ahead.
Drake.
Look at that. Drake.
Brian, Connie Cleary,
Hey-o.
Neil, Tony Ballard, Virtual Vicky. I see Scott and Patrick and Grandpappy and Ruby Tombsday.
Hey-o.
Leo and Sputnik and Jerry and Brad and Jeffrey.
Hey now.
Wiki Bobby.
Wiki.
And Walter. He says, I enjoy the show. Love
All
watching
right.
horror hosts. Thanks to you guys. Cool.
Yeah, and we're even more diplomatic than ever tonight, right?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, okay. So let's get this party started, Grim.
Yes.
Let's watch Fart 1.
And a party it shall be. That's right. Strap yourself in, boys and ghouls, because tonight we have something special for you. Here comes Fart 1 of the whodunit known as The Phantom of 42nd Street. Right here on The Mummy and the Monkeys. Hairy, scary hangout.
What Grim says?
Them actors is always in a hurry. You know, I envy you, Romeo. You're going to go back to your taxi cab with a clear conscience and salvage the night's business.
But I've got to stay to the bitter end because the Record expects me to turn in a review on this stinkola.
Well, this is one time I'm glad I'm not the great Anthony Woolrich, dramatic critic of a big New York newspaper. Well, thanks for inviting me instead of throwing your overcoat on the other seat.
Frankly, I think the overcoat would have had a better time.
You got something there. Hey, wait a minute. What goes on over there? Oh, boy, it's a murder. Or maybe a suicide. Am I glad I come now? Come on, let's see what it's all about.
The only murders that interest me are the ones on the stage that are neatly contrived.
Oh, Tony, you're not going to pass this up.
Why not? I'm a dramatic critic, not a legman on a policeman. It's outside my province.
Listen, brother, I'm curious.
I'm scared and excited, too.
All right, now break it up. Good evening, Lieutenant. Good evening, officer. Well, there's corpus delicti. Who's that bothering the body? Oh, that's just a hacky. He's got to stand near the theater, sir. Tell him to get out of there. What does he think this is, a wax museum? Yes, sir.
Well, can't you listen to me for a minute, Tony? That was murder and a real screwy job. I copied the note pinned to the body just the way it was written. Now, get a look. Hello? Hello? No, yeah? No.
What was that?
Oh, what difference does it make? Now, listen, Tony. This is what it says. It says, hang him from the yardarm and let him dance on air. And it's signed Captain Kidd. Imagine that.
You imagine.
What? Hello? Yeah. Look, will you get lost, your character? I'm busy.
What was that?
Oh, let's not go into that again. Now, look, I got to tell you something.
Yeah,
Tony.
well, you listen to this just a minute. Claudia Moore, the star, did her best with a thankless role. She shows definite talent.
Oh, now let that Claudia wait.
Look, will you get out of here? I'll meet you down at the cafe for a cup of coffee.
Who's that coffee? Listen, just wait till you want some information again, bud.
You said it, Buster.
You go up to the Moore house and get all the dope you can. And make it snappy or we'll miss this next edition like we did the Bulldog.
Happened at the opening of Claudia Moore's play. She's the daughter of Cecil, the big shot actor, and the niece of Jonathan the millionaire. The killer left a note. That's a hot story, all right. But why don't you assign it to somebody who can get the stuff for you in a hurry?
What's the matter? You want to get back to your poker game?
No, only this is theater stuff. Even that note sounds theatrical. Why don't you tell Tony about it? He knows the Moores. Well, he can dig up more stuff than I can anytime.
Well, you go on down to headquarters and I'll tackle Tony with the Moores.
Okie dokie.
I thought I smelled gin and regret.
Oh, hello, Tony. Just the man I want to see.
What up?
What's this, a review of the play you saw tonight? Another stinkola, I guess. Oh, Tony, I want you to help me out on a nice, juicy little murder. Just came in over the teletype. Tony, do you mean to tell me that you were at that opening tonight where that guy was murdered?
Certainly. It's my business to attend openings.
Don't you realize you had the jump on an exclusive story?
Well, so what? I'm the dramatic critic on this newspaper, not the crime reporter.
We were scooped by every newspaper in town. If you'd have phoned it in for the Bulldog edition, why, we'd have made that.
Take it easy, Peters. I'm not one of your legmen. I'm working for the owner of the paper.
You won't be working for any newspaper at all if you don't recognize a good story when you bump into one.
Well, what's such a good story about a murder to happen every day?
Not like this one. The victim was Jonathan Moore.
Who?
Jonathan Moore, you big the millionaire brother of the actor Cecil Moore and the uncle of Claudia Moore, the star of the play that you saw tonight. Now, look, you know all these actors, Tony. Why don't you go out to Cecil Moore's house and give me an exclusive angle on this yarn? Then maybe I wouldn't get my head cut off.
Well, of course, I know the Moores, but I can't just barge in on them without an invitation.
Holy mackerel, you're the most obstinate, stubborn excuse for a newspaper man I ever saw in my life.
Really?
You're not going out to a social tea. You're going out to investigate a murder.
No, I'm not going out and investigate anything. And I'm not going to sit here and listen to you bawl me out because you want me to pull your chestnuts out of the fire. Good night.
I have never been accused of something so heinous!
You know, Romeo, it seems like everybody in town knows I was at that opening. And what a bawling out I got from Peters. So I'm not a good newspaper man, huh?
No.
I'm dim-witted, am I?
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you show that editor you're an expert at murder as well as the theater?
I have a good mind to do it in self-defense.
Atta boy.
You know where the Moores live?
Why, certainly. Let's get...
Good evening, officer.
Just a minute, Bud. Where you going?
Why, I'm a personal friend of the Moores.
That's what they all say. You ain't a newspaper man.
Do I look like a newspaper man?
Anything but. You look more like a lawyer or
Well,
something.
that's a funny thing. That's exactly who I am, Mr. Moore's lawyer.
I thought so. Okay, go right in.
Thank you.
Miss Moore, is it true that your father...
Good evening, Miss Moore.
Well, who let you in here?
I'm an intimate friend of the family. I came over to see if I could help. Who are you?
I'm Lieutenant Walsh of the Homicide Squad. Well, Miss Moore, I guess I'll have to ask you fun.
Why don't you let her alone? Can't you see she's on the verge of a breakdown?
I'm here to solve a murder.
Well, look, old man, why not come back some other time? You know, after the shock has worn off.
Now, listen, young fellow. I don't need any advice from you. I'm here on police business. Understand? And we don't like anybody interfering with police business. Remember that.
You okay?
I'll talk to your father later, Miss Moore. Good night.
Arrivederci. Hasta la vista.
Adios.
Will you get out of here?
Well, what a nasty individual he turned out to be.
Would you mind telling me who you are? I heard you say you were a friend of the family, but I don't know you.
I'm,
Fred Jarvin, male prostitute.
Oh, yes. Well, please sit down.
Thank you. I, must say that makeup you wore tonight didn't do you justice.
That's so sweet. And you were at...
Yes, I was there when it all happened.
To think that it had to happen tonight at the opening.
Please let me extend my sympathies. Your father knows all about it, of course.
I don't know. He should be home now. But then he often stays at the theater after the performance. You know he owns the Gotham.
Oh, yes. Probably has a lot of details to attend to.
But frankly, I'm worried about his being late tonight.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Moore.
My poor child.
Father, the police have just been here.
Yes, dear, I know. I've just come from headquarters. This is a terrible thing.
I was at the opening, and I thought maybe I could help.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, Mr. Woolrich, and thank you so much for coming.
Were you told of your brother's death immediately?
Yes, the police were at my theater, and they asked me to go to headquarters right after the performance. But frankly, I couldn't finish the performance.
Well, I don't blame you. Have you any theories as to what might have happened?
No, it was all a great shock to me.
Yeah, right.
You and your brother were very close, weren't you?
Yes, we were very fond of each other.
Ooh!
Well, I guess I'd better run along. You'll let me know if I can help.
Of course.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's all right.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, boy, what a hangover.
Hello? Hello. Yeah, this is Tony Woolrich. Who? Oh, hello, Peters. Say, what the devil's the idea of calling me at this hour? What, another murder? Well, what do I care? You've got a whole staff of reporters, some of them good, too. Do you mean to tell me you called me in the middle of the night to tell me a watchman was killed? Are you crazy? Oh, well, that's different. Wait a minute. What's the address? Oh, hello, boys.
You!
Oh, Tony. Did I miss anything?
Not much, Tony. The police have thrown a cordon around all the subways. And they expect an arrest within 24 hours. Who is this guy? That is not a guy. That is a critic on the New York Record.
Oh, really?
So, you are a newspaper man.
Mm-hmm.
What's the idea of posing a friend of the Moors?
I'm also a friend of the Moors. And now that you've penetrated my disguise, may I look at that note?
What?
Yeah, it's been dusted for prints. Go ahead.
Burn, Rome, burn, while I laugh. Nero. That's from a play. The third act of The Mad Fiddler, written about 1850.
Now I suppose you're going to tell me the murderer was an actor.
Could be.
I still think he was a lunatic.
Oh, that could be, too. But I think that you will find there's a definite connection between the two costume murders and the theater.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Listen, Woolrich. You stick to reviewing Burlicue shows, and I'll stick to police work.
Very good, Lieutenant. Is Mrs. Carney around?
In there.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
That'll be all, boys.
Why, excuse me, Mrs. Carney. I'm Tony Woolrich of the Record. I happen to be at the scene of the other murder, so naturally I'm interested in this one. Would you mind answering a few questions?
I told the police all I know.
Well, you see, the fact that both murders were committed in costume makes me feel there's a connection. Did your husband know Jonathan Moore?
Yes, he did. Many years ago. My husband was a stage electrician.
That's very interesting.
Do you remember just exactly when your husband first Jonathan?
Not exactly. He was hired when Cecil Moore started his own repertoire company. About 25 years ago.
That's just what I wanted to know. Thank you very much, Mrs. Kearney. You'll, excuse me. Good morning.
Good morning. Come in, please.
Thank you.
I'm awfully glad you could come. I wanted to talk to you. Do sit down.
Thank you. Oh, I see you've been reading my review.
Yes, it's a little harsh on the play.
I'm afraid the play wasn't very good.
I guess you're right. It closes tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, the other notices were bad, too. In fact, not as kind as yours. You know, Father said some very nice things about you last night. He's very fond of you.
I think a great deal of him.
Mr. Woolrich, the reason I asked you to come over is I have a very special request to make. Naturally, you have the right to refuse.
I'll be glad to do anything I can.
I'm worried about Father. Very worried. He's ill, and he's been behaving strangely lately.
Oh, really? How strangely?
Well, he seems to suffer from lapses of memory. But anyway, I want him to quit the stage and really retire. It's not a question of money anymore.
Has it ever been?
Well, frankly, Father's had his financial reverses, as of all actor managers.
Mm-hmm. Then your uncle's estate will come in handy.
Well, frankly, yes, but let's not discuss it.
All righty.
I want you to ask Father to leave the stage.
Well, won't he resent that? His play's a hit.
I know, but it's worth trying, and it might save his life.
Is he that ill?
It's not only that. I have a terrible premonition that he'll be killed next, unless we do something to prevent it.
Well, frankly, I have the same hunch. Has anything happened that makes you think he might be murdered?
Yes. There's been a strange figure lurking around our house lately.
Oh? How was he dressed?
It's not a man, it's a woman.
A woman?
Yes.
That's impossible.
Huh? Well, I'm glad you told me this. I'll look into it right away.
And about Father.
I'll talk to him, too.
Well, that's very kind of you. I hope I haven't presumed a great deal.
Not at all. Now, may I be presumptuous for a moment?
Yes.
No.
Are you going to marry John Garrity? The columns are full of it.
It's none of your business.
Why?
Well, I haven't quite made up my mind why I ask you.
That's a strange question.
Maybe, but it's not exactly an idle question.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
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 A rocket?
You see, I've sort of appointed myself guardian of the Moors.
Well, a critic is guardian of an active family. That's the millennium.
Or perhaps it sounds like I'm interested.
Swing!
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, but now if you'll excuse me, I have a very busy day. I have lots of things to do.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Not at all. I'll keep in touch with you.
Whatever.
Well, goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for coming in tonight, Mr. Summers, to get your palm read. Shall we begin? Let's start with your past. I see recently that you were involved in a terrible accident that caused you to lose a tremendous amount of weight. Now let's move on to your future. I see a long, hard life of manual labor in store for you. And that'll be $5 max. Hey, pal. No, cash only.
Hey, now we're back. Whoa! Welcome back, y'all, to the Mummy and the Monkey's Hairy Scary Hangout. You're watching tonight's creature movie feature, The Phantom of 42nd Street. Mm-hmm. Yes, and already off with the bank. It's a whodunit, so...
It is.
1945 black and white thing. That's right. So...
Yeah, old-timey black and white movie. So our next... Oh, we've got some shout-outs and supers. Catfish and Pappy, thank you for the super chat. The stellar Tony Beller, happy belated birthday. And happy early birthday to Miss Layla. She's turning the big 2. She turns 2 next week. Wow.
Wow.
Awesome.
You right there, Barbie.
And we've got 182 of you guys watching on our YouTube chat. We've got people watching us on Public Media Network. And people watch the reruns on WRTN down in the Nashville area.
Yes, they do.
So that's awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, I'm going to read just a few comments, and we'll get into the snack toys.
Yippee dippy doo. You got your snack, or did you leave it on the counter?
I left it on the counter.
Oh, you silly
Scott
goose.
says he loves your pants.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah,
Could you go get my chips?
I'm very cold. I guess I have to, huh?
He's going to go get my snack.
Oh.
I totally forgot to go get my snack.
Oh, Janet.
Sorry, Graham.
That's okay.
Thank you.
I'll be right back, folks.
I'll read a few comments in the meantime. Phyllis says, happy B-Day, fellow Aquarians. Housecut says, wow, your mic is too hot. It's twice as loud as the movie. Oh, we could turn that down a little bit. Thank you for letting us know. So I'm going to turn that down just a smidge. See if that helps any. I know, and we're sitting like right here by the mic. What is everyone snacking on? Yes, so let's get out the snacks. You know, when we watch these cheesy old movies, you know, it's nice to have your popcorn or your chips or your snacks. Yeah, put it in the comments. Pretzel nuggets, says Paul Buser. He's having pretzel nuggets. People are saying the mic is much better. Oh, good. Okay, cool. I'm glad I could fix it. Leo Smith says buffalo chicken roller. Ooh. Connie Cleary's having ice cream. Jeffrey Moore's having popcorn.
Ooh.
Fritos, says Amanda.
Here's your snacks.
Ooh, and I'm just having some regular yellow corn chips.
Yes, and our buddy David Hayes, a friend of the show, sent us a big old box of snacks, and in there was this thing of Rice Krispie treats. So I think I'm going to have me one of them.
There you go, cool.
Thanks, David.
All right, so this movie is from 1945. It's called The Phantom of 42nd Street.
Yes. Well, wait, we didn't do the intro.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Shame on you, just like ahead of yourself.
I am. Okay, well,
ready?
so do that, and I'll
do it
have more of
officially.
this.
Hey, everyone, it's time for the segment you all know and love. It's called The Mummy and the Monkey Snack Toys. New yummy snacks.
Old movie facts.
That's right, and as we reiterate what we're snacking on, I got a Rice Krispie treat provided by our buddy David Hayes.
I have some Aldi corn chips.
Corn chips provided by Aldi. See, that's it. Okay.
They're good.
All right, now back onto this, or right to the snack toys. Let's go.
Okay, this movie is from 1945, released by PRC.
I love
Poverty
that beer.
Row Pictures.
Oh.
That means, you know, it was a low-budget studio. That was a nickname for those smaller studios like PRC or Monogram Pictures during the 1930s and 40s. So, okay, Kay Aldridge. She plays Claudia Moore. You saw Claudia earlier with the nice curled hair. She had the perfect hairdo.
She's the young lady, right?
Yeah, the young lady, the love interest.
Yes.
So she was a 1940s serial actress, and she played some bit parts in movies in the 1930s as well. Some serials you can see her in: Daredevils of the West and The Haunted Harbor.
Oh.
She even auditioned to be Scarlett O'Hara, but didn't get the part. Obviously.
I wonder if she gave it. I wonder if she gave a damn. Frankly, I don't know.
Maybe she didn't give a damn.
Thought she didn't get the part. Who knows? Yeah.
So actually, this movie is the very last film she was ever in for the rest of her life.
Oh my.
She was married 3 times.
In a row.
And she had 4 children. So I'm guessing after maybe husband number 2 or number 3, she wanted to, you know, take care of the kids and just focus on family stuff. All right. Dave O'Brien plays Tony Woolrich. He's the reporter in this. And he wrote for the Red Skelton Show. He was a writer for that show.
Yep.
He also was in the 1930s film called Reefer Madness. He played like the crazy guy that kept telling the piano girl to
Play faster.
Yeah, play faster, play faster. That was him.
Faster.
That movie's so funny.
Weird movie, but definitely worth seeing.
Yeah. He was also Johnny Layton in The Devil Bat from 1940.
Love that movie. Love him in it.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
He was also Captain Midnight in the serial Captain Midnight from the 1940s.
Oh, check that out. That's cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he died young at age 57,
Wow.
and he had 4 kids.
Is that what killed him?
Maybe they drove him crazy.
Well, maybe if his wife had the kids instead of him, it wouldn't have hurt him too much.
Oh, he had them. Oh, okay.
He said he had the kid. He had 4 kids.
He hatched them himself.
I don't know. I don't know how you humans do what you do. Wouldn't surprise me.
All right, Stanley Price. He plays the Phantom, and you don't really see him. You don't really see him much. He might be lurking about later.
Yeah.
He was in over 200 films.
What's his name?
Stanley Price.
Any relation to Vincent Price?
I did not see that on there, so maybe it's just a coincidence. But he was in 100 different westerns, 39 different serials, including Zorro and the Phantom.
Oh.
And then Jack Mulhall, he plays the lieutenant, and he was in over 430 films.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy? He lived to be 91 years old. He passed away in 1979.
How many times was he married?
That I didn't see.
Oh.
But he was in silent films. He was in the talkies. He played a lot of bit parts, like the lieutenant, the janitor, the doctor, or whatever. He would always play like these side characters.
Gotcha.
But he had a career. It kept him busy, and he was in over 400 movies.
Huh.
And when I was looking at the other actors in this movie, too, if you guys look it up later on Wikipedia.com, all those actors were like in serials. They were in a bunch of different movies playing smaller roles, but they kept busy. You know, they definitely got work.
And that's the way you did it. I mean, even there are people now that make their living doing as extras and doing like bit parts as well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the bit parts are obviously a step up for being an extra, but yeah, there's still a way to make a living in the biz, in showbiz, that way. So there you go.
Yeah, and serials were before television. You know,
Not a
bowl
breakfast.
of cereal.
Right.
Yeah,
Spelled different.
But a serial show.
Different meaning, yeah.
Meaning a series.
Days
that
long
you would go
gone-
see at the theater.
Long gone by days of Hollywood and what they did, but yeah. Well, but actually those serials movies, we're not turning this into The Hangover yet, but
yeah.
The serials inspired movies like Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
That's what those are based on, and the Phantom, the movie The Phantom that came out, based on those old serials. But yeah, man, it's interesting. Well, thanks for those factoids, Janet.
Sure, and then 42nd Street in New York City is a big deal, has a lot of history to it. It's known for its theaters,
Yes.
Broadway, the stage shows, and then later on during the Grindhouse era,
In the 60s and 70s.
in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s,
Yeah.
it was known for its adult movies, Grindhouse movies, and the theaters not being kept up with. And then in the 1990s, New York cleaned it all up, and
I think Mayor Giuliani came in and cleaned it all up.
Well, this was in the 90s. I don't know if he was mayor then, but
Yes, yes, he was.
in the 90s is when they started to clean it up, and Disney, I think had a part in it.
If my New York history is correct, I believe so.
But anyways,
so he was the one that cleaned up New York.
There's a little history
and then,
thing there.
You know, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, so it went through different phases. So, all right. So let's see, read a few comments, and we'll get back to it.
Go ahead and read them. Radar.
It would be cool to watch a serial about cereal, says Joe Trippy.
There you go.
And Bobby's having beer battered fish and fries and a diet soda.
It must be Lent. That's right. It is Lent
Oh,
for
yeah.
some people. Yeah,
Friday night, fish fry.
Yeah, Friday fish day.
Yeah.
You can have some meat, and people that practice Lent usually have fish.
There you go.
During Lent.
All right. Let's get back to the Phantom of the 40s. What Grim said. The Mummy and the Monkeys. Hairy, scary hangout. And away we go.
I'll tell her. Well, what do we do now? Wait. She was dressed for the street and will probably be leaving any minute. I know it's a boorish thing to do, but I'd like to follow her. Look, all detectives are boors. Don't let that worry you. There she is now. Okay, don't lose her. Don't worry. I've been out with real detectives. Well, don't lose her.
Go! beep, beep.
Everybody and every creature has to poop sometime.
Hey, what would she be doing going in a costume shop?
Well, Moore's play is a costume play. Say, maybe you've got a thought there. See, she left it in the shop. I've got to find out what's in that bundle.
The idea is to get the bundle first.
Yeah. Look, Romeo, you go in and tell him that Miss Moore wants that bundle back. Tell him it's a costume. Well, I hope it's a costume. Tell him she forgot something.
You'll go for that?
Well, sure. She might send a taxi driver for it.
Yeah? Okay, I'll try.
Hello, Mike.
Oh, good morning, Miss Moore.
Have you seen Robert?
Yes, I believe he's right over there.
Oh, you.
You're welcome.
Oh, good Lord, you scared me.
Good morning, Miss Moore.
Tell Father I'm having the costume mended. Parent says he's bringing it back tonight.
Good. Your father will be relieved. He doesn't want word about the accident to get out. That's why he sent you with the costume.
I understand. No one else needs to know. I'll see you before I leave.
All righty.
Well, what do you know, a pirate's outfit? Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum.
Yes, and there's a hole in it, too. And it's a bullet hole.
Yeah, somebody took a shot at somebody.
Yeah, somebody did. You remember that actor that brushed by us at the opening last night? Seemed to be in a hurry?
Yeah, and he had on a pirate's outfit, just like that.
Say, what was that note left on Jonathan Moore's body? Something about pirates, wasn't it? And signed by Captain Kidd? Remember?
Sure, I remember. I got it right here, just the way I copied it.
Oh, goody!
Hang him from the yardarm and let him dance on air. That's from a play. It's just like the note Nero left. And the play was called Captain Kidd. Yes, sir, to quote the bard, the play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Hamlet, Act 2, Scene 2.
Boring!
Romeo, you astound. Hey, I ain't called Romeo for nothing. Not when my real name's Egbert.
Egbert what?
Egbert. I got the moniker of Romeo when I started spouting Shakespeare at the boys. I was brought up on Shakespeare, just like the Bible.
I haven't got time to listen to your biography, Egbert.
Am I going to have trouble with you?
Look, take this back to Monsieur Perron and tell him Miss Moore found what she wanted. Then we're going to the Gotham Theater and do a little investigating.
Okay.
How's it going?
Oh, Mike. Well, good afternoon, Mr. Walrich. Anything I can do for you?
No, I just want to browse around backstage a bit. You're getting quite a run here, aren't you?
Yes, it's a fine play. You'll have a long run. And if Mr. Moore's health holds out.
Yes, I've heard he isn't too good. What seems to be the trouble, Mike? This is between you and me. I won't print a word of it.
Oh, he has attacks. Kind of queer and sudden-like. Last night he was fine for 2 acts, and he collapsed. And Tim Wells, his understudy, had to go on for him.
Really? Did they call a doctor?
No, Roberts, Mr. Moore's dresser. He drove him home.
Home? Last night? Oh. Oh, yes, of course. Well, it's too bad. He's a fine actor. I suppose his brother's death had something to do with it.
I don't think he knew about it then.
Well, I'll go in and mum's the word. Oh, one other little thing, Mike. And this is strictly between you and me.
What's that?
Was there a shooting accident here last night?
No, not that I know of.
I want to talk about it. See you later.
What do you say we cut the chit-chat? A-hole!
Oh, Mr. Thomas.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Woolrich. Come to look this over again?
Yes, I'm thinking about writing a story on the interesting period props you have here. As stage manager, do you have charge of them?
Oh, no. That's in Joe's department. He's the property man. I'll send him over to you.
Thank you.
You better give up them cigarettes, buddy, or the groundhogs will be bringing you your mail. Know what I mean?
All right, gentlemen.
Mr. Thomas said you wanted to talk to me. Oh, yes. You're in charge of properties.
Yes.
You've got some interesting props here.
Yes, sir. Authentic, too. We got the furniture from the museum.
Oh, really?
How about the dueling pistols? Do you have charge of those, too?
No, sir. They belong to Mr. Moore. They're real antiques. Roberts, his dresser, takes care of them.
I see. How does it happen that a real bullet was used in one of them last night?
Confuse me?
I don't know. There must have been a mistake.
Don't you load them with blanks?
Yes, sir. They were loaded with blanks. I'll swear to that.
Then how did that real bullet get in one of them?
I don't know. You better talk to Mr. Thomas about it, sir.
I will. Thanks for the information.
Oh, did you see Joe?
Yes. Thomas, I know that an accident happened here last night, and there's no use your denying it. Now, I won't print anything you tell me, but I would like to hear about it.
Mr. Moore asked us not to talk about it.
Did someone try and kill Carabee?
It looks that way, yes. One of the pistols had a real bullet in it.
How did it get there?
I haven't the slightest idea. We used nothing but blanks.
Who hands the pistols to the dealers in that scene? I missed it.
Tim Wells. He plays the referee.
Don't you think that the gun loaded with the real bullet was intended for Carabee, so he could fire at Moore?
Well, frankly, yes. When I learned that Mr. Moore's brother had been killed, I figured someone had it in for the entire family.
You!
But, oh, here's Miss Moore now. Let's not discuss it in front of her.
Oh, hello, Miss Moore.
Hello, have you come to see Father?
Well, yes, I figured now was as good a time as any.
He's very much upset today.
Oh, I'll pick the psychological moment to talk to him about retiring.
Perhaps you'd better not force the issue.
Don't tell me you're losing heart. Frankly, I'd rather not do it.
No, I want you to talk to him, but only, as you said, at the psychological moment.
Leave it to me. How about having dinner with me tonight?
No, not tonight. I have to poop. But ask me again. Bye.
Hi, Romeo.
I thought you said she wanted you to talk to her father.
That's right, she did.
Well, she better make up her mind. She's sure acting suspicious.
Think so?
You would, too, if you wasn't so busy gazing into a all the time. I thought you was hard-boiled.
Only the shell, Romeo. Underneath, I'm as soft as a 2-minute egg.
Well, you better harden up, chum, because you'll never beat that guy's time. Get a load.
Sexy time.
Charming couple, aren't they, Mr. Woolridge? Too bad Mr. Moore doesn't approve.
Oh, doesn't he?
No, Mr. Moore prefers that his daughter marry outside the profession. He has good reason.
Yes, undoubtedly he has. Is Mr. Moore available now? I'd like to talk to him in a few minutes.
He's in his dressing room now.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Look, you know, I take him here, I take him there, I go from, I come from. You're not interested, are you?
Not at all.
How dare you!
Come in. Ah, Mr. Woolridge. Sit down, won't you?
Thank you. Mr. Moore, I know I'm stepping out of character a bit, but I'm interested in the murder of your brother and Peter Carney. Now, it's more than a newspaper man's curiosity. I have a feeling that there's something progressively sinister behind those murders, and that perhaps you yourself might be in danger.
But I have no enemies.
Did your brother have enemies?
Well, a businessman sometimes makes enemies.
You knew, of course, that Peter Carney was at one time your company electrician.
Was he? I'd forgotten.
Well, he was. Mrs. Carney told me. Mr. Moore, something happened when you were running that old Moore repertoire company. Something that had repercussions today. What was it?
I can't imagine. It was a very successful company. That was because Jonathan ran it. He had a very good head for business.
But he ran afoul of someone.
Perhaps. But not in my company. We were very happy together.
On stage, Mr. Moore.
Excuse me, Mr.
Of course. We'll have another talk.
The next time I see you, remind me not to talk to you, will you?
You were in there a long time. What'd you find out?
Well, it seems that the old Moore repertoire company is the key to everything. Take me to the record.
Take me here, take me there. All right, let's go. Hello, Tony. Still looking for that exclusive on the Moore murder?
In a manner of speaking.
Well, you can relax. The cops just arrested the murderer.
They have?
What?
Who is it?
A lunatic. Escaped from an asylum up the river. He confessed to both the Carney and the Moore murders.
Oh, he did, huh? Did the police compare his handwriting with that on the notes?
Well, I don't know. I guess they did. Anyway, the case is closed. Sorry I jumped on you like that, old man.
That's all right, Peters. You know, getting a confession out of a lunatic is probably the worst thing in the world.
You mean you don't believe he's the killer?
Well, I don't know, but I doubt if the police are on the right track.
Like for real? For real?
Hello, Mike. Hello, Mr. Woolridge. Say, Mike, you've been around the theater a long time, haven't you?
Man and boy for 35 years.
Knew many of the old-timers, too, didn't you?
Oh, I've seen them all. The Drews, the Barrymores, Maud Adams, the Southern. Oh, I've seen all the great ones.
Here's a program from the old Moore Repertoire Company. You recognize any of the names?
Sure. There's old Tim Wells. That's Mr. Moore's understudy now. And Roberts, he was with the troupe.
What else?
Anyone else?
Yeah, I know that lady. Janet Hill. I didn't know she was with Moore. Runs a boarding house down on West 39th Street. Mostly theatrical people. Oh, she's a fine lady.
Do you, know the exact...
Sure. Her name's Miss Buchanan now. Half a block west of 8th on the north side of the street. You can't miss it. It's the only nicely kept brownstone house in the block.
Thanks, Mike. You've been a great help.
Exactly.
Good afternoon. You're, Mrs. Buchanan? Yes. Well, I'm Tony Woolridge of the Record.
Oh, yes. How nice of you to visit us. Won't you come in, please?
Thank you.
What a dump. I'm just about to fix tea. Will you join me?
No, thanks, Mrs. Buchanan. I'll, come right to the point. Weren't you formerly with the old Moore Repertoire Company?
Yes, I was.
And you appeared in Captain Kidd and several of the other historical plays, didn't you?
Yes. I was the leading lady. But why all the questions? Are you writing an article about old-timers?
No, I'm not, Mrs. Buchanan. It's something much more serious. I'm investigating 2 murders. Oh. The murder of Jonathan Moore and Peter Carney. You knew them both, didn't you? You'd better answer that question, Mrs. Buchanan.
I don't see what right you have to question me like
I'm
this.
not questioning you for idle curiosity. If you want to know the truth, I'm here ahead of the police. I'm working with them on the murders.
That still doesn't give you the right to ask me personal questions.
Would you rather the police ask them?
Why do you say things that you know will hurt me?
What did you want to know?
You did know Jonathan Moore and Peter Carney.
Yes.
What have you been doing around Cecil Moore's house lately?
What makes you think it was me?
Because I know you're concerned with the Moores. How directly, I don't know as yet.
You're right. I am greatly concerned with the Moores. You see, Claudia Moore is my daughter.
Your daughter?
But she doesn't know that I'm her mother. I left her and Cecil when she was just a baby. And the circumstances were, well, unfortunate. Cecil divorced me. I've been trying to get up courage to talk to Claudia. But every time I see her, I lose heart.
Why have you waited so long to make a decision?
I never would have attempted to see them if it hadn't been for the murder of Jonathan. Now I feel that both he and Claudia are in danger. Oh, maybe I'm just imagining things.
No, you feel just exactly the way I feel, Mrs. Buchanan. That's why we've got to work together to help them.
Damn right.
How?
To guard against that danger. I, too, feel that after Jonathan, possibly Claudia or Cecil might be next.
Oh, no.
But you know that's true. Why were they killed?
I certainly wouldn't know about that.
Hello, stay tuned for more from the Mummy and the Monkey.
And action. Oh, so hungry still. Wait, what's that? Oh, Louis came out.
Hello, boys and ghouls. This is Eric Uncle Pigger, creator of Toxic Tunes. I specialize in creepy, kooky, spooky, macabre art that I put on my t-shirt line. I'm always creating new t-shirts every month. I've also got patches, stickers, monster masks, calendars, artworks, air fresheners, pill. I got so much stuff I can't even keep my eyes straight. Just come to Toxic Tunes and see with your own eyes where it's Halloween every day. And stay tuned for more of Mummy and the Monkey. I love these two.
And there we are. We're back, man. Yay! Welcome back to the hosted portion of the show. That's right. Hope you're enjoying tonight's movie, The Phantom of 42nd Street. And we want to remind you, too, that we do have a prize giveaway tonight.
Oh, where did that prize
go?
Oh, it's over here.
Yeah, gifted to us by our buddy Eric Pigors, yes. the famous artist Eric Pigors. I have one of his shirts on, by the way. This is a Frankenstein shirt he put out, that Glenn Strange version of Frankenstein that he drew. Yeah. Very cool.
And then tonight's prize is the world's worst monster jokes, and that is made by Toxic Tunes.
Oh, yes.
By Eric Pigors, and there's a button and some other goodies in there, too. That's a very fun prize.
And how's your mummy bucket doing?
And the mummy bucket is getting full. Ooh, I'm adding names. So, yeah, there's a lot of names in there.
Oh, yeah.
So, and to be eligible to win that prize, just be active in our YouTube chat while we're live streaming. I'm writing all the names down, and at the end of the night, we'll pick one lucky winner. Woohoo! And that lucky winner needs to email us to claim their prize so we can get that sent out to you.
That's right.
So, all right, so we're halfway through the movie, and your sound effects are great tonight, Graham.
I'm making my own right now. Ooh, that pizza we had earlier is repeating on me.
You're burping away here.
Yeah, boy, it doesn't smell very good in here either, but what are you going to do? All right, so, viewer mail.
Yes, we have some viewer mail. So this is from Bobby Harvey Jr. He sent us each of, looks like a Valentine's card. So this is Bobby Harvey in Cleveland.
Okay, Bobby Harvey in Cleveland. He's the one that gave me that banana, too.
Oh, yeah.
The banana that I twirl around from time to time. Oh, you got a little kitty cat.
Yeah. It says, it's Valentine's Day. Pounce on some fun.
Oh, look at that.
Make it a perfectly marvelous one. And it's got a lot of stickers and stuff.
Mine says, Happy Heart Day. And, it's got a bunch of stickers. It goes, Hope your day is truly amazing, from Bobby Harvey Jr. Valentine's Day 2024. Nice. There's some fun little stickers in there, the puffy ones and the shiny ones. And
how fun. Thank you for sending those, Bobby.
Thanks, Bob.
And if you guys out there watching would like to send old-fashioned paper mail, you can send it to our address that's on our website, themummyandthemonkey.com. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the website, we do have our mailing address on there.
We do. And all the other contact info you could ever want to get a hold of yours ghoulies over here.
Yeah, we have links to our social media pages.
eBay stores.
Like Facebook and Instagram, our YouTube channel, our eBay stores.
Hey.
Our Teespring store with all of our T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, we can talk about that. You want to go over that, or we want to do?
We could do that, yeah,
okay,
for a minute, if you have the graphic for it.
Let's shoot over to that. I don't know what's going to pop up. That's what he said. Let me see. When I click on the stills thing, there it is.
Goes. Hey. So there's tank tops and T-shirts and hoodies and all kinds of goodies on the Teespring store, different sizes and colors to choose from. I think there's even mugs and pillows on there too. You can use coupon code BANANAS.
Woohoo!
Bananas for 15% off your order.
Mm-hmm.
And the link is in the YouTube description box. It's also on our website, themummyandthemonkey.com.
That's right. And if you want to become a Monster channel member, how do they do that, Janet? And what do they get?
You just click join on our YouTube channel, and it's $2.99 a month. And we try to release 1 to 2 extra videos for the channel members. It could be like some cool found commercials off of a VHS tape. It could be behind the scenes videos.
Yes.
Or deleted scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know what we will upload as a thank you to the channel members.
So become an envy of all your friends and join our channel if you wish to. And then tonight, immediately following the Harry Scary Hangout, we're going to do a Harry Scary hangover.
Yes, we're going to have a hairy, scary hangover chat, and we're going to talk about some really cool stuff for February. So February is, Black History Month, and it's also Women in Horror Month.
Oh.
So we're going to talk about some great actors from both things.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it should be a fun one tonight, and we haven't done one in a few weeks, I don't think. So yeah, we're going to try to catch up on that. And speaking of old commercials and things like that, people seem to like the stuff I put in the countdown that preceded, that was before the show here.
Oh yeah, people were liking the commercials you found.
Yeah,
right?
and those were taken off some recent, videotapes that we've acquired, but that was before we had a mega score this week, a VHS. We're not going to be needing any VHS tape stuff. Well, we'll always take it, but literally,
Grim and I got a truckload of VHS tapes.
Hundreds of stuff that the oldest one I found so far. I only went through. What?
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say I think we're good for a while on tapes.
Well, I mean, if we find some stuff that's Cleveland from the '80s and that, I'm definitely going to grab those.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone through two of the boxes, sort of, and I just went through them very quickly. Oh. And the oldest thing I found so far is 1991. So. There could be older stuff in there as well, hopefully. Taped off of TV stuff. So we'll have commercials to the end of time with this.
All kinds of stuff.
All kinds, like a lot of local stuff, etc. Okay.
So Ron Vickers, thank you for the super chat. He says, great show tonight. Rebel Ghoul gave us a super chat and gifted a Mummy and the Monkey membership. She gifted one to Ron Brunty.
Wow, kind of.
And Dean Stotzer, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, it's funny to me how people, like, if we show horror movies, like, bad B movies like that these seem to get, the whodunits seem to get a better response.
It's, something a little bit different. I'm also considering some Westerns in the future.
Okay.
If they have, like, a ghost story type of plot or something that can kind of fit into the horror theme.
Because the whodunit has a little bit of the horror with, being, murder and all that involved.
Murder
and
mystery.
The mystery type of thing. Yeah. But we would never show like a straight Western movie.
Only when we completely run out of movies to
Then
show.
we'll have to. But who cares? You're hanging out with us. You're hanging out with each other. We're all hanging out together, and that's what the point of this show really is. That's why it's called the Hairy Scary Hangout.
Right. So let's do some more hanging out, and let's get into Part 3 of The Phantom of 42nd Street.
Nicely done, Janet. Here we go. Part 3, just for you.
Whee!
Part 3, wee.
Dang Torgo Bell.
Take a look at this, Mrs. Buchanan.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
It lists Jonathan Moore as company manager and Peter Carney as chief electrician. Doesn't that suggest something to you? Why were they killed? What could have happened those many years ago?
Mr. Woolridge, you're digging into the past like a ghoul. Why do you insist upon making me talk about things that are better forgotten?
Because you know yourself there's a killer loose who is bent on wiping out all the Moores. Possibly everyone on this program.
But in the paper it said that the police had arrested someone.
No, the police, unfortunately, they aren't anywhere near the truth.
Do you feel that you are?
If you tell me what happened in the Moore Repertoire Company 25 years ago.
Well, it began when I joined the company as ingenue. Both Cecil and Jonathan began to show an interest. But I was in love with one of the actors. Henry Winters was his name then. Suddenly one day, Henry disappeared into thin air. I was distracted. I even went to the police. But not a trace of him was found.
Oh, really?
And so you married Cecil. Why did you pick Cecil?
Frankly, because I distrusted Jonathan. I always felt he had something to do with Henry's disappearance.
Your marriage didn't work out.
No. Guess I was too much in love with Henry. Well, I finally heard from him again. He was in Boston, playing under another name. I finally married him under his real name, Buchanan.
Are you still married to him?
No, I divorced him many years ago. He's dead now. He died in an asylum. His effects were sent to me. You know, he changed considerably after our marriage. He was moody and extremely jealous. Something seemed to be happening to his mind. I left him in order to save my own sanity.
I understand. Mrs. Buchanan, would you do me a favor and come to the Gotham Theater with me?
No.
But why?
To see if you recognize any of the other people who might have been with the old Moore Repertoire Company.
We are a classy bunch.
Good evening, Mike.
Why, good evening, Mr. Woolridge. Well, if it isn't Mrs. Buchanan.
How do you do?
Mike, we want to look around backstage a few minutes.
Certainly, Mr. Woolrich. Will you excuse me, please?
Sure. Look around and let me know if you recognize anyone. How about him? Him?
No, I never saw him before. That man over there looks like Roberts, Cecil's dresser.
That's right, that is Roberts. Moore's had him with him all these years.
I've heard of that name before, and I don't know where.
How about him?
No.
How about that actor over there?
It's rather difficult to tell in that wig and costume, but... Yes, I believe it is Tim Wells. He was with the company, too.
That's right, that's Wells. He's Moore's understudy now.
Well, isn't that special?
Oh, there's Cecil. I do hope he doesn't see me.
He won't. He's on pretty soon. How about him? Now look around at the crew and the rest of the cast.
Stop rushing me!
There's Claudia. Don't you think we'd better be going?
Don't you recognize anyone else?
No.
You never saw any of the cast before.
No, I'm certain of that.
All right, we'll go.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I was so persistent, but it's important.
Oh, I understand.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Stay here. Say, Joe, did anyone just pass you?
No, what happened?
Somebody took a shot at me.
Glad they missed you.
Oh, Roberts, did you hear a shot?
A shot? Why, no, not since the dueling, see?
Where were we just a minute ago?
Standing in the wings. I better go.
That's a lie! That is a...
Oh, Thomas.
Yes, Mr. Woolrich?
Did anyone just run backstage?
No, I didn't see anyone.
Where are Tim Wells and John Careby right now?
Wells is on the other side. He's got a bit in this scene. He's waiting to go on. Careby should be in his dressing room.
Is Mr. Moore in his dressing room?
Well, no. Mr. Moore is right there on the stage.
Oh.
What's all the excitement about?
Somebody took a shot at me.
You're just imagining things.
You little fink.
Did anyone go out the door?
No, no one.
Where were you a few minutes ago, Mike?
Why, that is, well, I just went down to the basement to brew myself a cup of coffee. Please don't give me away, will you?
I won't, but did anyone pass you down there?
No, I got a little cubby hole down there. I did hear some footsteps, though.
Who was it?
Well, I don't know. I didn't see them.
Oh, here we are. Well, I must say somebody tried to kill us. A half a foot lower and...
I can't understand why anyone would want to shoot at us.
Well, I can. And I'm better take you home right away. Good night, Mike.
Good night.
Let's go to KFC. I'll drive, you pay.
Romeo, take Mrs. Buchanan home and then come back for me, will you?
Right.
Now, don't go out until you hear from me.
I won't.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Tony.
I'm ready to talk to your father now. Is he alone?
He's gone.
Gone?
Yes, he became ill after the last scene. Wells is finishing for him.
Oh, that's too bad.
I'm just gathering up some things for him now.
Suppose you let me take you home. My cab ought to be back in a few minutes.
That's very kind of you, Tony. Thanks.
Don't worry about disease. In Czechoslovakia, I was cured many times.
Claudia, did you know there was another shooting here tonight?
No, was somebody hurt?
No, but the bullet almost had my name on it.
But why would anybody want to kill you?
I'm not sure the bullet was meant for me.
Do you think it was meant for my father?
Could be.
Can't the police do something?
Well, they made an arrest, but it's obviously not the right person.
Oh.
Boy, there's more, isn't there? Hey, look, I'm near a fire plug.
Skip it. Take me to Miss Moore. Rather than fast.
Why don't you take it easy? I'll work cheaper. Guys, leave the country.
I'm terribly worried.
I'm sure your father's all right.
Anyway, I'm glad you're both here.
Don't worry, Toots.
Excuse me?
I mean, Miss Moore, everything's gonna be all right.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Come on in.
Holy mackerel. Hey, Tony, this ain't Moore. It's some other guy.
Now, take it easy.
Here's one of them screwy notes.
What's the fingerprints?
I think we're getting into a weird area here.
Says,
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Yours truly, some bozo.
Put it back.
Hey, get a load of this.
Some identification card. This shows he was Jim Olson, employed in the shipyards, a carpenter. Now, what do you suppose he did to the Phantom Killer?
Look, you're the smart guy. I drive the cab.
Oh, look, Walsh, we've been telling you the truth, and you've had us here all night. Now, why can't we go home? At least let Miss Moore get some sleep.
I'll let you all go when I get through with you.
The coroner just sent this over, Lieutenant.
Thanks. The coroner says that Olson was dead for several hours before you found him.
Well, that's logical enough. Maybe the killer brought him over here.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe as a warning.
To whom?
Miss Moore?
This could be feasible in your brain, I'm sure.
Is there any reason why the murderer should warn you, Miss Moore?
Well, not that I know of.
Well, good evening.
Well, Mr. Moore, it's about time you got here.
Is anything wrong?
Where have you been since you left the theater?
I visited some friends.
I thought you took sick and Roberts brought you home.
No! I felt better in the cab and had Roberts drop me off at a friend's house.
That is such a lie.
Who's the friend?
Julia Roberts.
Mrs. Buchanan.
Well, you better have an airtight alibi.
Why?
Because there's been a murder committed right here in your apartment.
A murder? Here?
You heard me.
Holy smoke!
Hey, you're quite a hero today, Tony.
Yeah, Walsh is going to love that part about me finding the body.
Can I freshen up your coffee, gents? This time you can have it without cream or without milk. Now, just take your choice.
This time we'll take it without wisecracks.
You dick!
What a dame. She's slapstick happy.
You know, Romeo, I've been thinking, those murders didn't have to be committed by a man. A woman could have worn those costumes just as well.
You got something there. I've been thinking, too. You know, old man Moore and his daughter fell into a considerable piece of change when Jonathan was bumped off. And the paper says he died without leaving a will.
Well, I don't think Cecil Moore needed money that badly. Anyway, I still think my original hunch is right. Somebody's trying to knock off the whole Moore family.
Maybe. Hey, how about that John Careby? You know, if anybody married into the Moore family and the whole family was knocked off, he'd come into all the moolah himself.
Yeah, that's true. Something about Careby I don't like.
Oh, couldn't be the way he hangs around with Claudia, huh?
Well, partly. Let's go to the theater. I got an idea.
Here we go again.
Walsh is going to like this, but I've got a curious mind.
Got a curious mind, too. Hey, what are we here for, anyway?
We're going to take a peek in Careby's dressing room.
Better separate. I'll go with you. No. All right.
Because I am a wild and crazy guy!
Uh-oh. There goes my taxi business.
Woolrich, I thought I told you to stay out of police business.
Well, it isn't our fault. Somebody dropped a sandbag on us.
What is this, another brainstorm?
No, honest. They took a shot, too. Was it you?
Listen, if I took a shot, I wouldn't have missed.
Ooh!
What are you guys doing down here?
Well, we were just kind of looking around,
I thought I told you. What's the matter?
Somebody's coming along that drop.
Hubba, 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 big girl.
Well, gentlemen.
Well, Miss Moore, this looks like Old Home Week.
I was just going into my father's dressing room. He asked me to get some things for him, if you don't mind.
Now, that's just fine. And we'll go with you.
Your hat, Lieutenant.
Come in.
Why, Miss Moore, I thought your father wanted you to get something.
Well, I guess
That's right, Lieutenant. I left my script here. Claudia didn't know I was going to be downtown anyway. Well, now that you're here, how about rehearsing with me? I need to brush up on some lines. Would you care to watch?
You're nasty.
No, thank you. I've got to be gone.
All right, goodbye.
Alice the West Star, baby.
Oh, hello, Lieutenant.
Romeo, you're going to do a little singing.
Oh, he can't sing a note, Lieutenant. He's tone deaf. Now, me, I can...
You can get me a cup of coffee.
Oh, yes, Lieutenant.
You and Woolrich have been up to a lot of shenanigans, and we want to know about them.
I think you better ask Tony.
Sure, you ought to ask Tony. He knows all about them murders.
Oh, he does he? How do you know that?
Oh, him and Roma are always talking about them. Oh.
All right, if you want her to shut up, suppose you talk. What do you know about Mrs. Buchanan?
Nothing.
Why, Romeo.
Will you shut up?
I'll get your coffee right away.
Do I have to remind you that you're getting your license from the police department? Then what's Woolrich got on these murders that we ain't got?
I still think you ought to ask Tony.
We'll get to him. But he ain't operating a cab, see? And maybe you won't be either.
What kind of a person are you?
All right, let's go.
Now, wait a minute. All I know about Mrs. Buchanan is she operates a Ham's boarding house. Somebody took a shot at her. Tony's got the bullet.
So now he's a ballistic expert, too, eh? What else?
Well, Tony's got some old theater programs with her name in them. That's all I can tell you, honest.
Sure that's all you know?
Sure, I'm sure. And Tony ain't gonna like my telling you either.
You dirty rat! We'll see about that.
Hanging tough here with the Midnight Movie guys. Yeah, we got Don, we got Trey, we got Rich. How you doing, brothers?
All right. How you doing?
A little short in the pockets, actually. I can use a little extra cash. Matter of fact, I'll bet I can beat you in a foot race from here to there.
Fucking fall that far. How much are we talking?
$20 a head, baby.
20 bucks. That's the easiest
right.
$20 that I'm gonna
All
make.
right, man. Save it till I win, okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready? At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! Easy money, baby. Easy money.
Love that scam. Works every time.
More like all the time.
Yeah, high five. Woohoo!
And we're back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Woohoo, yeah, the plot thickens or curdles, one or the other. I don't know what's going on with this movie so far. It's not too bad of a whodunit. It's very character driven. Lots of fun talking, dialogue, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But for Phantom of 42nd Street, which is what you're watching tonight.
I like this. I like seeing the fashions, the 1940s hats.
You're hyper focusing, on their hairdos and their hats. They're sort of
The one lady had like this big elaborate hat.
Well, it's the main girl in the movie, right?
Yeah, what's her name?
You have the list.
Claudia. Yeah.
Yeah, like every time she shows up, she has some different coif with a different sort of
with the hat with like the veil
woven into her head. I don't know how they do it. I don't know with the hair thing. Why they are so obsessed with their hair, I don't get it.
Well, and how do you have like a nice hairdo if you're wearing like a hat all day that flattens it?
Well, you don't take the hat off.
It's magic.
And everyone had a hat back then.
Yeah, everyone was wearing a hat.
Hats were a big thing.
If you didn't have a hat, you weren't cool, I guess.
You weren't all that if you didn't have a hat.
If you didn't have a hat.
All right, yeah. So here we are back at the Erie Cinematary, hanging out with you all the way from Cleveland, Ohio, to the world tonight.
To the world, yes.
Love it, yes. And, so what's next on the agenda?
So coming up next, we have the What Do You Do segment.
We have one single What Do You Do, but we're going to show it. So
we have one contributor.
One is enough, and it gives us a way to pad the show. So here we go.
All
We're
right.
going to kick it off with the lovable What Do You Know theme, and then we'll get
What Do You Do theme.
Or What Do You Do? So what do you know?
What do you know?
Not much. You remember that show? Great thing. Yeah, that's a different show.
Yeah.
We don't have What Do You Know here.
Oh yeah.
So I wish. I missed that show. All right, here you go. What do you do?
What do you do when you're watching the Hangout? Do you watch on your PC? Do you watch on your phone, in a group or alone? Send us pics and let us see. What do you do when you're watching the Hangout? Does your hairy, scary show? Do you watch with your dog, or you sleep like a log? Send us pics and let us know, yeah.
Okay, our onlyest What Do You Do is sent in by none other than Art from Mart. And it's a post-Valentine sort of little one-panel cartoon at the Janet Decay clutching what seems to be a box of chocolates. And Janet's looking back at Grim very lovingly, even though we're not in love. But our characters aren't.
Or, maybe I'm looking away, I've got my back turned because he's going to fart and I'm trying to get away.
No. If you read the style, I was describing the what you're doing. So you're looking back.
Oh, thank you so much for the many wonderful Valentine's Day trinkets, sweets, and cards.
And I, Janet, wish likewise to thank you for that nice Valentine's Day boiled banana and bologna sandwich on rye bread you gifted me. More words can in no ways describe the gratitude I have for you right now. See, thank you, Marty, for that. That is our What Do You Do? And usually we have people that would send in, these kind of little cartoons, or with their television, or where they watch
how they watch the show,
yeah.
Or if they're out on vacation, sometimes people send some fun vacation photos.
They're in a camper.
Yeah, maybe they're watching in their camper
with their laptop on and everything. Or sometimes a lot of people have, or some people have really cool setups around their television in general. Posters, toys, things like that.
Their cool action figures and posters in the background. It's just fun to see all the different creative things that people have sent in.
Yeah, and if you want to look back at the past shows to understand what that might look like, then please do so. If you want to send in a What Do You Do, you can send it to
themummyandthemonkey at gmail.com.
Yes, one or two photos is great, and we can use them for a future segment of What Do You Do?
There we
go. Not What Do You Know?
No.
What do you do?
We don't know much here.
No, not at all. So thanks, Marty, for that again. It was very nice of you to send that in. And wow. Okay, so we have a prize giveaway later on.
We do. So let's. I'm going to read a few comments.
Yeah, that's great.
And then we'll get back into it.
And I'm going to play with my monkey here that David Hayes sent me. Look at this.
Oh,
thing.
You've got a little monkey toy there.
Stretch monkey. Look at that.
Stashu says I usually wear a hat outside. We were talking about hats earlier.
Yes.
And let's see. Will they drop a chandelier on this Phantom, says Mofei Chen.
I want to swing from the chandelier.
You always do. And people were saying they liked the waitress. One person said that she had too much coffee.
The waitress did.
Because she was talking all fast.
Or something.
Like she had too much coffee.
Did they have Coke back then?
I don't know.
I mean Coca-Cola. Yeah, they did. So a little caffeine in it, you know what I mean.
Yeah. People are saying to give the video a thumbs up.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah. If you have a minute, some YouTubers will say, smash that like button.
Ooh.
Gently tap the like button.
Caress it, if you will. But
give it a little boop on its nose, click the like button.
Just make sure it registers as, no matter how you tactily decide to actually engage the like button, please... just do it, please. It helps the channel.
Just give the little like button a little boop.
I think this is the most we've had watching and chatting at the same time.
In a little while,
yeah. It's been a minute. But we do appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself as much as we are enjoying being here, hanging out with you. So
So let's find out what happens.
Who did it?
To the rest of the Phantom of 42nd Street. Will they finally catch this Phantom?
I sure hope so.
And why the heck is he doing this stuff?
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Does he have a chip on his shoulder? Is he trying to get revenge?
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess we're going to find out this pulse-pounding, action-packed ending, part 4 to the Phantom of 42nd Street, right here on
The Mummy and the Monkeys, Harry's Scary Hangout.
Well, here's everything I've got. Notice this bullet. It's a ball. Propelled by an old-fashioned pistol, no doubt. And such a pistol is being used every day at the Gotham Theater. Twice on matinee days.
Oh, is that a fact?
These programs were available for anyone who wanted to look at them. They're playbills from the Old Moore Repertoire Company. And our 3 murder victims are on them.
It's beside me. It's just sick.
So that's the connection. Moore played the star part in each one. Captain Kidd, Nero, and Napoleon. Well, that settles it.
What?
I'm going to swear out a warrant for Moore's arrest right away.
I admit it looks bad for Moore, but I've got a hunch that he'll be the next victim instead of being the killer.
Well, really, that's good. Listen, Tony, I like everything you've done for me, but you've got the wrong steer on Moore.
Look, Walsh, suppose Moore did have a reason to kill his brother. Money.
Cha-ching.
That's a very good motive. But why should he kill Jim Olsen and Peter Carney, 2 hard-working, innocent men?
Well, there's only one answer to that.
Peanut butter.
I guess Moore's plain nuts.
Why, you can't get away with a statement like that. Your last suspect was nuts. And that's exactly what he turned out to be. An escaped lunatic. You can't pin that same label on Cecil Moore and get away with it.
But you yourself said no sane man could have committed those murders.
Yes, but this man's cunning. He's posing as a sane man and getting away with it.
Thanks. Where does that leave us?
With a suspect?
Where are you going to find him?
By using Cecil Moore as bait.
Excuse me?
You mean as bait to catch the murderer?
What else?
Why, Moore's been playing in the theater for months. He's been using himself for bait, if the killer was after him.
That's right. It's probably only a matter of time before the killer strikes at Moore. But I've got a different idea. If a pattern were followed deliberately, the killer might rise to the bait, especially if it were made easy for him.
Oh, make it easy for the murderer to kill Moore.
Exactly. Look, Walsh, time and place means something to that killer. Costume also means something. That's what I mean by the murder's following a pattern. Let's put Moore in a play where the killer can get at him. Julius Caesar, for instance. That's one of Moore's favorite roles. Why, the killer would give anything, take any chance to play Brutus to that Caesar.
But you can't kill a man to catch a murderer. Have you gone nuts, too?
I think I know how to do that. Suppose I work it out tonight and give you all the details in the morning.
Okay. But it's dangerous to leave a man like Moore loose.
I mean, this is about as interesting as listening to a John Tesh album.
Hello, Tony.
Oh, hello, Lieutenant. Sit down. Hey, what's the matter? You look a little worried.
Well, there's no use of kidding. I am worried.
Well, I don't see why. Everything's going along smoothly.
Oh, sure. The benefit's going along okay. I just came from the theater, and there's enough actors down there to fill the Metropolitan Opera House, and they all want to play Brutus. Supposing we don't get the right Brutus.
That's a chance we'll have to take. But I'll lay odds that the right Brutus will show up, and with the dagger.
And supposing that dagger hits Moore in the throat, or some place that's not protected by that steel vest.
That's another chance we'll have to take.
You mean Moore will have to take? Listen, Tony, I don't like that anyway. Why, if anything happens, it means my badge.
We just can't allow anything to go wrong.
That's all right for you to say. You'll still be the dramatic critic of the record. And I'll be pounding a beat out in Flatbush.
Flatbush isn't so bad. I was there once for a tryout.
That's nice.
Come on, Lieutenant. Let's go get a drink. You look like you need one.
No, Tony, I've got too much on my mind. I talked to Mrs. Buchanan again. She gave Moore another alibi. She says he visited her the night Jonathan was killed. Seems she sent for him. Didn't say why.
That doesn't sound too good.
They're hiding something, both of them. I had her room searched. Well, what we found I didn't like. Different costume.
Well, she's an actress.
But these were men's costumes.
Oh, God.
Brother, we'd better go get that drink.
Do you like Taco Bell?
Now, Sunday night during the show, we'll both be dressed as Roman senators. You over there and me over here.
Oh, you're going to turn me into a ham, huh?
One turn ought to do it.
There you are.
Oh, brother.
Oh, hello, Mr. Woolridge.
Oh, the tone of voice, she wants something.
No, I wasn't talking to you.
I talked to Mr. Moore about you playing a bit, Ginger, and he said it would be all right.
Could I? Would I have a line?
Certainly. You say, Cassius waits without, sire.
Cassius waits without, sire. Gee!
Goody.
Now, you watch Mr. Thomas, the stage manager, and when he gives you the cue, you walk on stage and say your line. Savvy?
Sure. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Woolridge. I always wanted to play a part with Cecil Moore. Oh, wait till I tell the other girls.
I can hardly wait.
Well, Tony, what do you know about that?
No, it...
The Brutus didn't show up for the rehearsals. The stage manager just told me.
Well, they must have smelled a rat. Who's taking his place?
I don't know yet. But if Brutus got leery, what's the use of going through with this?
Got to go through with it. I still think somebody will take a stab at Moore, and I'm not punning.
The more I think of it, the plainer I see Flatbush.
Oh.
You know something? That's the first nervous detective I ever saw, especially Walsh. That certainly shakes your faith in humanity.
Well, wait till you watch a dramatic critic with a nervous breakdown. I'm going to see more.
He's gonna play.
I was just telling Mr. Moore about Brutus taking a powder.
Well, that's fine, then I won't have to wear this bulletproof vest.
Oh, yes, you will.
Yes, but it's going to be very uncomfortable.
You seem to forget this killer is nobody's fool. He's still at large after 3 sensational murders. That means he's cunning. I wouldn't advise any of us to drop our guard.
Maybe, but I still have a hunch that he took a powder.
Come in. Look at this. I just tore it down from outside the theater.
He took a powder, did he?
Why, the smart aleck.
Let me see that first. And that isn't all. Go out and look at that call board.
What is going on?
Look at that.
It's fun. Say, Walsh, does that handwriting look familiar to you?
I don't know. I'm not a handwriting expert.
Well, I'm no expert either, but that certainly looks like the handwriting on those death notes.
I saw the word death on it.
Some practical joker, Claudia.
No, Tony, Father's in danger. I know it.
Now, Miss Moore, everybody on the stage is being watched, so you just take it easy.
I have a feeling that there's something going on. Something I don't know about. What is it, Tony?
Well, how the hell should I know?
Well, it's just an experiment, and I can't say anything about it.
But I don't like all this secrecy, Tony, especially if it concerns Father.
Trust me. You can, you know.
Yes, I know. You've been wonderful about everything, Tony.
Well, if nothing else, I've accomplished one thing.
What's that?
I've got you calling me Tony.
Everybody on stage.
I guess that means you, too.
Yes, darn it.
Ooh, he likes girls.
Well, gentlemen, shall we begin?
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Get ready. When I yell trumpets, the trumpeters will sound a flourish. That's the start of the scene.
Gotcha.
Hey, Tony, what do you know about that? Moore's understudy is going to play Brutus.
Timothy Wells?
Yeah, that's the fella.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. In this scene, all the senators have knives. Brutus doesn't have to actually do the stabbing.
After all the advertising you did for a Brutus?
That was just to come on. The killer might strike through Brutus, he might strike through Caskia or Cassius or any of the other assassins in the scene. We'll soon know.
Now, listen, you fellas. You've got to have eyes in the back of your head for a job like this. Anything that you see that's suspicious, why, just pounce on it. Understand?
Right.
All right, do you remember your lines?
Cassius waits without, sire. The trouble is, I always want to say without what?
Oh, it's them bum gags that's got you. Why don't you forget them?
I'll try.
Why don't you get a toupee with some brains in it?
Sound your trumpets.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice has Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, ho! They murder Caesar!"
Mr. Moore certainly put on a lot of amateurs this performance. The taxi driver, that waitress, the newspaper man.
Well, it's only a benefit. And you know how Mr. Moore feels about Woolrich?
And the power of the press.
Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never taste of death but once, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come.
Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius.
But Caesar really had a lot of enemies. Your boy's really on his spot.
Ginger, you're on next.
Oh, my, what's my line?
Cassius waits without, sire.
Oh, wait a minute, let me practice. The carriage waits without.
No. No, you're too late now. The rest of you on stage.
Oh, Romeo. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Thomas.
You dipstick! Yet in the number, I do know but one that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it, even in this, that I was constant Simba should be banished, and constant to remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar.
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak of hands for me. Speak of hands for me.
Then fall, Caesar.
Every man for himself!
I'm all right. Thomas, my stage manager.
It's Thomas, all right. And he's also Henry Buchanan, the only man with a motive for the murders.
But why would Thomas want to kill my brother?
Well, you see, Jonathan, thinking he could marry Janet, had Buchanan shanghaied by the other two men. But Janet married you instead.
Well, he never told me anything about being shanghaied.
No, he brooded about it alone. He was cunning, changed his appearance, and struck 3 times. It's your ex-husband, all right, with an expert facelifting and hair-dyeing job.
Yes, but I never would have recognized him.
No, he made sure you wouldn't recognize him.
He's our man, all right.
He would have struck again tonight if it hadn't been for you.
I'm so glad you're safe, dear. I didn't dare tell you where I was until these awful murders happened.
I'm glad you're back, Janet.
I just remembered my line. It's Cassius waits without, sire.
Great, but a little late.
Darn, that's the end.
Hey, what's buzzing, cousins? Stick around. I ain't going anywhere, and neither should you.
Magic McCopier. Magic McCopier. Tell me. Who be here?
All right, all you monster kids out there, get ready, because they're finally here. It's the Mummy and the Monkey limited edition figurine set. Exclusively brought to you by Phoenix Comics and Toys. And don't forget to watch Mummy and the Monkey's Hairy Scary Hangout, Friday nights at 10 p.m.
Wow.
Well, there you have it.
That ending wasn't as...
No,
yeah.
I still don't know who did it.
I thought it would have been the ex-wife.
No, it was...
they kept hinting like it could have been her, and she seemed kind of like she had a grudge or something.
It was a jealous husband who got his face changed and did a lot of plastic surgery. I don't know if he got the Botox and the duck lips, but, you know.
I think that predates the duck lips.
Well, yeah.
And the all
I
that.
think you're right on that. Anyway, there you have it. That's who did it, and make up your own ending. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might be more fun to do it that way.
So I guess that was the end of the movie.
So yeah, hopefully all that build up, it just seemed a little bit like not as just kind of they wrapped it up really quick, but
yeah, I was hoping it would be more
suspenseful.
Yeah, because the rest of the movie I thought was interesting enough, and you're like, okay, well, who is it? It's going to be someone that and then it wasn't really.
But don't be too hard on yourself. You didn't make the movie, okay?
Yeah. The ending was kind of lackluster.
The butler did it. Hey, you know what?
Yeah, we'll just blame it on the butler.
They're in the chat right now.
Oh, the butler did it is chatting right now.
I guess so.
That's cool. All right, so we have our next segment.
Yes, TV Showtime travel. I put together a brand spanking new one, a very chubby one tonight. It's a chonky one, as they would say. It's a new word now. Right?
Oh,
chonky.
It's chonky.
Yeah, because this is during the days when, in 1973, this is from. Here's the TV guide I pulled it from. I've got hundreds of television guides, TV guides that came out from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. We got them all.
Nice.
Yeah, we got so I pulled tonight's selection out of this TV guide, which is dated February 16th through the 23rd, 1973.
Ooh,
that's right.
1973.
We had there's 4 different. Is it 4 or 5? Huh? There's technically 4 different horror hosts / movie hosts that Cleveland had in the Cleveland area.
During that time.
Back in 73. So I threw this together, and it happened to fall on February 16th, which is today's date.
Yeah, and many different cities all over the United States had a late-night movie host.
Yes.
So if you check the old TV guides, maybe in your hometown, maybe you had a character that would host movies back in the day.
That's right, and you're gonna find out what we had here, going on here anyway, in Cleveland at that time. So here we go. Let me fire up the old theme song to the Cleveland TV Showtime travel.
Okay.
And away we go, yo.
Here we go.
All right. Can you hear me out? Good, okay, out there? All right, here we go. All right, Cleveland TV Showtime travel kicks off Friday, February 16, 1973 at 11:40 p.m. on WJW TV8. That's right. Kicks off with The Houlihan and Big Chuck Show. And their movie that night on February 16th, was the original Rumble in the Concrete Jungle, King Kong versus Godzilla. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, and the TV guide says 2 famous monsters have a noisy disagreement. That's right. This came out in 1963. It looks like they're doing the polka there.
Yeah, like they're going to dance.
Yeah, I lost my boss down. And then on Channel 43, the same night at 11:30 p.m. was Sir Graves Ghastly. Yes, that's right, a syndicated show out of
Detroit.
That's right, and his movie that night was The Creeping Unknown. Ooh. Yeah, I didn't know Iron Man was in this movie. It's also known as the Quartermass Experiment. That was the more popular name for this movie. And look, his mother warned him that doing that would make your hands hairy. Look at that.
Ooh, oh my.
Proof positive. And I think I saw that in my fridge the other day. So we go back to Channel 8 that same night, Friday night at 1 a.m., and they had another scary movie after that. It wasn't hosted by anyone. It was called The Strange Door. That's right. This one had Boris Karloff.
Well, everyone likes Karloff.
That's right. On The Strange Door, a cruel tyrant gets even with his dead sweetheart by keeping members of their family in a castle dungeon. Then the next day on Channel 43 at 1 p.m. it was the only super host, and his first of 2 movies that day was Gog. Ooh, yes, it's about a robot that went crazy. And look at that. It looks like a Dalek convention, or maybe the cousin of the Daleks. I don't know, from Doctor Who.
Wow.
Hey, is that your hand, or are you just happy to see me? What's going on there? Hi-yo. Very happy girlfriend he has. And then at 2:30, Superhost's second movie was How to Make a Monster. And there's Frankenstein doing the armpit farts. Look at him. And someone tried to get fresh with the Wolfman there.
Look at his bite bites.
And those masks you see that were in this movie were like the actual mask from Invasion of the Saucer Man and the She Creature. Check that out.
That's neat.
And then later on Channel 61, WKBF, it was the one, the only, The Ghoul at 11:30 p.m. And his movie that night was War Gods of the Deep, starring Vincent Price and Tab Hunter. Oh, man. What a lineup, huh? For the weekend. Look at these guys. This is like pre-Aquaman, right? I mean, the movie anyway. The comics were out before that, obviously. And what the heck were these guys warring over anyway? I can't imagine how they even had time to. And that wraps up tonight's Cleveland TV Showtime travel, boils and ghouls.
Wow. Well, that was a very chunky segment, Grim.
Yeah.
It looked like a jam-packed weekend.
And it was.
Movie watching.
We had it going on, baby. I'm telling you, we had it going on here in Cleveland. That was a sweet spot where you had up to 4 hosts, and movie hosts, horror hosts, however they want to be labeled, doing their thing throughout the nights of Friday and Saturday.
You had to adjust the rabbit ears just right to get all the channels to come in.
Yes, and I think who had the best time with these are the people that were sort of on the outskirts of the range of the signal that really had to get those things in. It was probably even a more special
Put
treat.
the tinfoil on top.
Yeah, it's probably a little more special to actually dial those guys in and see what they were up to. But yeah, so yeah, you can chat amongst yourself too about any horror hosts you had growing up and during those times.
Yeah, Raymond says Ghoul Power.
Yeah, the Ghoul, man. Love all that stuff.
Victor says The War Gods is on Tubi.
Yeah, that one I haven't seen.
Yeah, so a lot of those old movies are on Tubi now, which is great.
Yeah, that's one of those movies too. I think it might have been a Jules Verne, based on a Jules Verne book, or maybe a story. But here, this is again one of those things where these guys, they've invented these amazing machines that can, go underwater, but they haven't invented toilet paper yet. I don't understand that. So it blows my mind. Anyway.
All right, so one lucky winner tonight is going to win the Monster Joke Book and some other fun trinkets from ToxicTunes.com.
Oh my, yes. Who will it be?
ToxicTunes.com. We love collabing with them. Amazing artwork.
Yes.
Halloween all the time with Toxic Tunes.
Check out ToxicTunes.com.
Oh, yes.
You can sell some funky merch.
Yeah, my bucket is full here, so I have to make sure all the names stay in when I go to shake it up.
Everyone's ready for your shaking.
Gotta make sure I don't fall over in these shoes. Okay.
You ready?
So, all right. Shake, shake. Everybody, let's get up and dance. Come on.
Come on, time.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake my bucket. Hey, I didn't... That's him with the sound of...
Well, you've been sitting for a while. Maybe things have settled and, you're shaking them loose.
Shake, shake, shake. All right.
Yeah.
So we're all shook up here.
Oh, I'm all shook up.
We're all shook up. So let's stir up the names.
I got the drum roll ready. You got to make it fair now. Put that back in the bucket.
I did. Okay.
Ram it back in that bucket. Okay.
All right, digging deep into the bucket here, stirring it up, and
Someone said, "Shake it, don't break it."
I got a name. I got a name.
Oh, here we go. Ready?
All right,
ready for the drum roll?
Yes, drum roll.
Who's the winner?
And the winner is John Johnson. Awesome! Congratulations! Very cool.
You win, buddy. So if you heard that, please email us right now. Don't waste any time.
Yes, to claim the prize.
Shoot us an email to themummyandthemonkey@gmail.com.
Very cool. But you know what? You guys are all winners for hanging out with us and getting through tonight's movie.
That's right. And you're going to win even bigger when we continue this party. Once we sign off doing this show, we're gonna log back on onto another chat. It's just us talking on video. Of course, we'll be here.
Yeah,
and you guys, we can all chat with you and talk with you. We're gonna do the Harry Scary Hangover.
Yes. So if you're watching us on YouTube, give us maybe about 5 minutes or so, and we will start a new live stream, and we're gonna talk about actors for. Different women in horror actors and some famous African-American actors in horror films.
I'm being diplomatic here. I'm shaking you.
Well, I'll shake you right back. I'm being extra diplomatic now. Okay, so anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching our show here. And as always, good night, good fright. Mwah.
And that's right. And we'll see you later, alligators.
Bye-bye.